So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Dave. The Asian one. I've known Jack for about 12 years now. Des and I were housemates in college. And when I met Jack, he was just Des' younger cousin. We hung out a lot back then. I beat him repeatedly at ping pong. He beat me at dominoes. We play video games together or have marathon anime sessions. It's true. There's lots more stories I probably shouldn't get into, but reach out to me and Des later and I'll tell you all about it. Since then, our life experiences have been pretty similar, except I keep going first. Because of this, Jack doesn't hesitate to ask me my advice. More recently, Jack's been telling me how annoying it can be to get an opinion out of me. So Jack, since it's your wedding day, here's some things that I have learned through my own marriage that you don't have to ask for. Now I feel like I need to mention I'm no marriage expert. I've been married for 5 years, as of yesterday. I have 2 little girls, a 3-year-old and 8 months. And we're figuring it out like everybody else. So, while thinking about the best way to give this marriage advice, one way stood out above the rest: video games. So a quick disclaimer, for those of you who aren't into video games, free. Don't worry, you won't miss a thing. So since Jack and I don't live near each other, we're able to stay connected with each other's lives through video games. And being the person that I am, making parallels between video games and relationships just makes sense. So, Jack and Bree, I'd like to give you 5 pieces of advice that I've learned from video games. Number 1, teamwork. In a game we play called Dota 2, teamwork is crucial to the success of the group. Rarely does it happen when one person can be amazing while the rest of the team is terrible and still pull off a win. A successful game really requires all 5 players to work together by looking out for their teammates and successfully playing the role the character is meant to be. This idea of working together directly applies to your marriage. Situations will always come up where you guys are going to have to work through a conflict. Conflicts can stress you out, cause you to question the decision, or force you to reevaluate something. In these times, don't forget that each of you always have the other to help you through. I've seen you guys work well as a team already, and I know that you will continue to be a strong team long into the future. Number 2, time management. Time management is prevalent in different types of games. There are the games where you can only save at checkpoints. Sometimes hours can go by before you are able to get to the next checkpoint. When you have a class coming up that you haven't prepared for and there's no checkpoint in sight, it's a problem. Or the online team games that usually take between 30 to 45 minutes, except when Jack is supposed to pick up his fiancée from her girls' night out, and the assumed 45-minute game is drawing out closer to an hour, it's a problem. Prioritize your time with each other in mind, in both video games and your relationship. Number 3, financial stability. Now, I've played several games with Jack that have their own economies. They have their own form of currency that is used to purchase in-game items to hopefully make your character more awesome. As Jack knows, it's very easy to spend way too much money in the game on the cheaper, minor upgrades instead of saving up for those super cool items. Marriage comes with not so glamorous things like sharing debt, and being jointly responsible for paying bills. In-game, I've seen Jack go from dropping all his wealth on an item that lasts only a few nights of gaming to understanding the economy and learning how to make his wealth make more wealth, so he can afford those super cool items. In real life, I've seen Jack go from spending money impulsively, without thinking of the future, to planning, having goals, and meeting them. This beautiful wedding is a great example. Don't worry, Bree. I think we're all aware of your role in Jack's more mature approach to finance. Huh, looks like you guys are doing great on finances. No advice needed. Keep up the good work. Number 4, growing and learning. Video games inevitably come with loss and disappointment. You can't win all the time. The hope is that we learn something every time we are defeated. Jack and I play hardcore characters in some of our games, which means that when our characters die, that's it. Done. If we want to keep playing that game, we have to start all over with a new character. As Bree knows, when a hardcore character that Jack has spent a lot of time on dies, he's devastated. He has to stop playing and cool off while he grieves the loss of his character. These emotional outbursts, which is really what they are, have become more subdued over time, but are still hilarious. Your marriage will continue to evolve and change over time as you introduce new variables into the mix, like kids. Similar to learning what to do differently next time when Jack's character dies, you both need to continually look at yourselves and ask the question, how can I be a better husband? How can I be a better wife? And number 5, the most important, communication. When me, Jack, and 3 of our friends are playing a 5v5 game of Dota 2, it's extremely important to communicate. There's tons of strategy that would be way too geeky of me to go into here, but it does need to be discussed during a game in order to be successful. Communication is a big part of all the things I've already talked about, but deserves its own section. The idea that things don't need to be communicated to the ones who are closest to us, because they know us so well, can be detrimental. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. Never stop telling her what she means to you, what he means to you. In the language, the love language, best suited for each of you. So, let's raise our glasses in honor of this new family created today. A husband who loves his wife more than anything in this world. A husband who is loyal, generous, thoughtful, happy, optimistic, and my personal favorite, genuine. And a wife who loves her husband more than anything in this world. A wife who is creative, committed, sensitive, silly, kind, and supportive. The two of you together just makes sense. I'm not one to share my feelings very often, but for all, I love you. And I'm glad you found someone who makes you this happy. Cheers.